Welcome back to the YouTube channel, everybody. Had to bring up my inner Odell and our guest returning for the NFC predictions on the over-under, Jose.
Hello again.
So we're back. We already predicted the AFC over-under win totals for every team.
Check that out.
Now we're back for the NFC. So let's get started with the NFC North. We're going to go with the Chicago Bears. Won the division last year. Their win total set at 9.5. You think it's going under?
Going under. I think the loss of Vic Fangio was very underrated. He was on my
coordinator.
Yes, he was on my 49ers the Super Bowl year, and he left the year after, and yeah, they didn't turn out so well. So I don't see that going the same way, and I still don't trust Mitch Trubisky yet.
Yeah, he's going to take some time to develop, of course. I think the loss of Jordan Howard's really important.
Adrian Amos
was a big defensive piece. I think they're going under as well. I could see him winning about 7 games, maybe 8.
Yep.
We'll move on to the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford doesn't really have much help around him. They did draft a tight end. I personally think they're going to go under, winning 6 games. Their total 6.5. So I think it's about right. I think they'll go under and win about 6 games.
I have them under also. I'm not a fan of the Lions roster right now. I don't like the help that they have around Matthew Stafford. It's kind of tough to watch him as a Matthew Stafford fan. But yeah, I don't like it. Under.
How many wins are you thinking? I got him at about 6. Are you thinking way under? Or?
I'm not saying way under because Matthew Stafford's still great, but I'd say 5.
5 wins? Okay, I can see that happening. Now, the Green Bay Packers last year, very disappointing season. They won 6 games. They went 6-9-1. The almighty Aaron Rodgers is back to return. They've got some defensive pieces, including Adrian Amos from the Bears. You'd have to imagine they'd get better. Rodgers would want to bounce back. How much are we thinking?
Despite the lack of weapons for Rodgers, it still is Aaron Rodgers. You said 9.5. I'd say at 10. Those cornerbacks are going to develop. Jair Alexander. They got Josh Jackson. Yes, they got Adrian Amos to help him out back there. I got him over 10.
Got him over, winning 10 games. 9.5's the line. I got them slightly under. I think they're going to win 9 games. I think they're going to win 9 games and compete for the division. But we'll move on to the last opponent here in the NFC North. The Minnesota Vikings, set at 9 as their win total. I have them hitting right at 9 games. I think the Packers and the Vikings are going to tie at 9. And I personally think that the Vikings are going to win the division based off of tiebreakers.
I think the Vikings will be right at 9 also.
But you got the Packers at 10. So
yes.
You got Green Bay winning the division.
Yes.
I've got Minnesota. Differs a little bit there. We'll move to the NFC South, where the Atlanta Falcons are coming off of an injury-plagued season. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Devontae Freeman's coming back. They're over-under set at 9. What do we see there?
9. So you did mention a lot of injuries, and they were fighting through some injuries last year. So with all the players coming back, a lot of talent coming back, Deion Jones, Devonta Freeman, as you mentioned.
Oh, Deion Jones is a big one.
I'll take them right at 9.
Okay, I can definitely agree with that. I think 9's a fair number for them. Just because their division is really competitive, you can't expect them to just return to Super Bowl form like they were a few years ago. I think 9's a fair amount of wins for them to reach this season. Moving on to the Carolina Panthers. Didn't make too many moves, but they did have a disappointing season last year after starting off hot and then tailing off at the end. I think Cam Newton's going to be back for a vengeance. Their win total set at 8. I think they're going to go over, and they're going to win 9 games as well. I think the Panthers and the Falcons are both hitting 9. Do you agree, disagree?
It's not that the Panthers are a bad team, because they're definitely not. Cam Newton's a top 10 quarterback. It's just that that division is tough.
It is.
So I can see whichever team in that division running away with 1 game. So for that reason, I'd have to give them 7 wins under.
7 wins under. Okay, I got them over 1 game. I think they're winning 9, and that brings us to the NFC South champion last year, the New Orleans Saints, who were one very controversial play away from a Super Bowl berth. Do we think that maybe the aftermath of that blown pass interference call maybe takes into effect and leads to a disappointing season? Because it really seems like they haven't gotten over it, to be honest. They just filed a grievance not too long ago. Do you think they're going under? They're set at 10.5.
I'd have them right at 10, just because of the reason, like I said, for the Panthers, each team in that division can steal 1 game from each other. And I think the loss of Mark Ingram will have some play despite them getting Latavius Murray.
Because now Kamara's going to have to carry most of the
and
offense.
Sean Payton doesn't really want to do that from what I've seen. So
sounds fair. I do think just because of their strength of schedule, they do have the 22nd hardest, being the 10th easiest schedule in the league. I think that they're going to go over 10.5 and win 11 games exactly. That's my prediction there. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they did get Bruce Arians as their head coach, one of the better offensive minds in the league. They're set at 6.5. Jameis Winston's out to prove he can be a starting quarterback. Do they eclipse 6.5? What do we think?
I'm thinking under. I know I said under for like 3 of these teams, but it's not because they're going to be bad teams. I think they'll all be right below their total. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking under also.
Okay. I got them going over. I really like even last year with Ryan Fitzpatrick, I really liked the offensive production they had. And they went ahead and got Bruce Arians as their head coach. I think that Jameis Winston, he's not a bad quarterback. I think he can throw the football, but I think Bruce Arians is going to help him make better decisions. And I think they'll win 7 games. I can't expect them to compete for the division, but they'll be a relevant team in the NFC. And then the NFC East, the most entertaining division in the league for sure. All the talking there. We have to talk about the loudest team, the Dallas Cowboys. Zeke's not in camp right now. Their win total's set at 9 for the season. I personally have them right at 9. I can't really see them going under that just because they do have a good defense. You expect Zeke to be back at some point, running behind that O-line. Dak's a solid quarterback. Not worth no $40 million, but I think he is a quarterback that can manage you to some victories. I see them winning 9 games. What do you think?
So, is this with Zeke? Did you think 9 with Zeke or without Zeke?
I think Zeke will be back. I don't know that he'll play all 16 games, but I think he might sit out a game or 2 and then ultimately come back into the equation.
If Zeke's out, under, and if Zeke's in, right at 9.
You got to make a prediction, though. Is he out? Is he going to play?
I don't know. I say under.
You're going to go under?
Yeah, because I'm sure he'll miss some time.
Do you think they're going to, without Zeke, what kind of team are they looking to be without Zeke?
I think around a 500 team, despite that solid defense that stepped up late in the year last year. I think they're around a 500 team.
Okay, so 8-8, I got them at 9-7. Then we're looking at the New York Giants, a.k.a. the New York Saquon Barkleys. Daniel Jones is the surprise pick of the draft at number 6 overall. Him and Eli Manning right now, I guess, are in a pretty intense quarterback competition. 6 wins. Can they possibly overachieve this season? Do you think maybe Daniel Jones can be the truth, or Eli can regain some older form?
See, Saquon Barkley alone will win them 4 games alone.
Think so?
I think so, and it's going to be whether up to the rest of the defense. I really can't tell you who's all the 11 men on the defensive side. So for that reason, I'll give you 6 wins, 5 wins under.
5 wins under?
Yeah.
I have them going under as well. I think the biggest thing is that with a young quarterback and also an aging quarterback, you do need some weapons around you. Saquon Barkley's not going to be able to do it by himself.
No, Odell.
All of their receivers are out, suspended, injured. I think that we're going to see the first 1-win team in a long time. That's my bold prediction. I think they might win 1 or 2 games this season. Saquon's role right now for the Giants kind of reminds me of Calvin Johnson back in the day for the Lions. They went 0-16 despite the fact he was a monster. I can see the Giants being probably the worst team in the NFC.
I think it's easier to get the ball to Saquon, though, than what it is to get Calvin. So I don't really... Although their maybe importance to the team was just as like similar.
The thing, though, you can stack the box against Saquon. You could put,
Saquon's a playmaker, though.
He is a playmaker. We'll have to see what happens. We both have him going under. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Foles is out of the picture. Carson Wentz is the bona fide starting quarterback. Just got paid. Their total set at 10 wins.
I have them as they're my surprise Super Bowl prediction winners. So I think they'll go.
You haven't won the Super Bowl.
Yes, I do. 12-4.
12-4.
12-4.
Okay.
Carson Wentz is going to rebound from that injury. That defense is still really good. The defense, the receivers are going to step it
Deshaun
up.
Jackson's back.
Deshaun Watson's back. Jordan Howard now.
Yeah, they definitely have pieces all around the field, offense, defense. My bold prediction for the Eagles, I think Carson Wentz is the MVP of the league this year over Patrick Mahomes, over all those guys in the equation. I think Carson Wentz will win MVP. I could see the Eagles winning 12, 13 games. I don't know about them making the Super Bowl, though. We'll have to see. Now we're looking at the Washington Redskins, set at 6 wins. They going over or under?
Under. I don't know who's playing quarterback for that team yet. I don't know if Haskins is starting. I don't know what's going on with Alex Smith. I haven't really seen much about him.
Alex Smith's out for sure. It's a competition right now between Haskins, Colt McCoy, and Case Keenum. I heard the other day that Colt McCoy...
Case Keenum's on that team?
Case Keenum's on that team.
Yeah, no. It's going under.
My bold prediction, just because I like their defense so much, and I love the draft pick from last season who's coming back, Darius Guice, I have them going over 6 wins. I think they're going to win 7 games. Just because the Giants, I think, are going to be so bad this year. I think the Redskins will be able to be a middle-of-the-pack team with the Cowboys.
I have it vice versa. So.
Okay, so we're kind of flipped on those teams there. I trust the defense of the Redskins and the running game of Darius Guice, Adrian Peterson, Chris Thompson, etc. And the last division of the NFC, probably the most competitive division in the NFC, the NFC West. Number 1 overall pick, Kyler Murray, went to the Arizona Cardinals, and they're set at 5 wins.
Ooh, this is tough. I think that offense is really suited for Kyler Murray. He's really explosive.
Cliff Kingsbury is the coach.
Explosive coach. I'd have him right at 5 wins. No, 6 wins, over.
I'm going over 6 wins as well. I just think that their scheme is just going to put up so much production that they're going to be bound to win.
They have so much offensive talent. David Johnson, Christian Kirk, even still Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, definitely.
Hakeem Butler.
Yeah, they've got some talent. Now we're looking at the NFC champions from last year. The LA Rams set at 10.5. I personally think they're going over this year. I think that they're going to win 11 games. Not too much over. I can see 10 or 11. 10.5 is a fair over-under for them. But I'll put them over. I'll give them 11 games. I think that people are really overrating the Todd Gurley injury. I think he's going to be all right and have a great season. Jared Goff's improving, only getting better. They did get Eric Weddle in the defense. What do you think?
My bold prediction is that my San Francisco 49ers win the division. So therefore the Rams, I don't see them winning 10.5 games. I think the Todd Gurley injury is actually more important than we think it is. I did see Sean McVay saying that he's going to try to manage his load. I do think the LaMarcus Joyner loss was big, even though they got Eric Weddle. Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, some big pieces, but I do just love that system. How many wins do you have them at?
I have them at around 9.
9 wins?
No. 9 wins, yeah.
9 wins? All right, got them at 11, you got them at 9. Let's go on to the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson and company. They did lose some pieces, but I do like what they did moving forward for the future. They got some draft picks, cleared some cap space, got a lot younger. They're set at 8.5 wins. I got them going under. I think they'll win 8 games. I think 8 games is fair for them.
I think 6 games, therefore under.
6 wins?
6 wins, yes.
Wow, I just can't see Russell Wilson ever below 500.
Russell Wilson still doesn't have an offensive line.
You know, all these years without an O-line, though, he's still
a defense.
That's true. We'll have to see what happens. I got him at 8 wins, competing with the 49ers, who are set at 8 wins. You said you got your Niners win the division?
10 wins. Yes, I do.
I like this Niners team, too. I think they're going over 8 wins as well. I think they're going to win 9 games and secure one of the wild card spots in the NFC.
Yeah, I got 10 wins. Our main problem last year was we weren't getting any pressure, meaning our secondary was having issues. We only forced 2 turnovers last year. Only 2 interceptions. That number should go up with the addition of Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner. It's still going to get double teamed, which is going to allow the people on the edges to step it up. Yeah, I love Jimmy G coming back. The addition of Tevin Coleman. Dante Pettis will step it up. Yeah, I love this team.
Dante Pettis is going to be nice. I think the Niners are going to be nice, and this will be a real competitive NFC. This year in the NFL, the league's really wide open. We have some aging teams, some young up-and-coming teams. We'll have to see what happens. Check out our predictions. Watch the video on the AFC as well as the NFC. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and
Let
share
us know
the
what
channel.
you think.
Definitely make some predictions in the comments, and it'll be nice to check back and see how accurate we are, how off he is. I'm just playing. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all my previous videos. You guys have a great one.